The time is in the year of our Lord, 1625, an age of high adventure, romance, and brave deeds. The place? Paris, a city where every young man must learn to keep his head out of politics, his hand out of dueling, and his heart out of love. Our story, set during the reign of Louis XIII of France, tells the true tales of Charles de Batz-D'Artagnan, a young nobleman bold and true who leaves his country estate at the age of 18 to join the King's Musketeers. His swashbuckling soul, animated by honor, loyalty, and shrewd intelligence, outsmarts evil and pierces to the heart of goodness. Our story begins with D'Artagnan's arrival in Paris and his audience with Monsieur de Trevec, captain of the King's Musketeers.
So, who are you, Monsieur D'Artagnan? Your father was one of my oldest friends. May you serve your king as nobly. Your letter of introduction, sir?
Monsieur de Trevec, I had the letter safely in my doublet when I...
One moment.
Come on, just
Hey, those cornrows there, miss. Sorry for the throat. Do you know what the king said to me last evening, gentlemen? Do you know?
No, sir.
Well, he told me that henceforth I should recruit the King's Musketeers from the guards of Monsieur the Cardinal, for they are plainly the better men. You immoderate men, to allow yourselves to be arrested at the cabaret, and then to run away to save yourselves. A pretty glorious thing to be said of the King's Musketeers. Aramis. You should have kept your monk's cast instead of the king's uniform. Oh, and Porthos, is your sword so made of straw that you so easily surrender it? And Athos? What is the matter with Monsieur Athos?
We fear the smallpox, sir.
Smallpox, a pretty glorious story. Wounded, I should think, and not daring to admit it.
Well, Captain, it is true that we were 6 against 6, but we were not captured by fair means. Before we had time to draw our swords, they killed 2 of our number and wounded Athos, who tried twice to get up and fell again.
And we did not surrender, no. We were dragged away by force, and then we escaped before. Not before the honor of killing 2 of them with their own swords. And that's the whole story, Captain.
I see. So the cardinal exaggerated.
It's not upon for pains that it should fall upon the king's ears.
Sir, brave men are very near and dear to the king. And the king knows that the musketeers are the bravest on earth. That is what I shall say to the king. Your hand, Athos. Oh, a surgeon, the best that can be found. Sacre, my Athos will die.
The wound is closer his shoulder than his heart, sir. He probably just went down for pain and loss of blood.
God, we'll take him to the antechamber so he can rest more comfortably until the surgeon arrives. This way. Pardon me. Pardon me, my dear one. My soldiers are like big children, and I their father. Now, what can I do for you, sir?
I wish to be a musketeer, sir.
Well, unfortunately, you may not serve as a musketeer without serving the ordeal of several brilliant campaigns or as a cadet in a regiment of less reputation.
I ask no favor that my honor cannot earn me.
Very well spoken, like the son of D'Artagnan. You shall serve as a cadet and be trained in the art of swordsmanship and riding. And now that letter from your father, sir.
Alas, sir, it was taken from me on my journey from a man with a scar on his cheek.
Was this man of proud stature and noble bearing?
Yes.
Was he accompanied by a woman, an English woman?
There was a woman with him. Never did I see such a beauty. If you know who he is, tell me, for I would kill him.
Sir, take my advice. If you see this man walking down the street, I pray you pass like
Like a coward, monsieur? Never.
Then I pray you never have the misfortune of meeting him again, for he will smash you like glass. Be warned. And now I promised you that letter. Oh, now you may go. And I promised you that letter. May you guard it more carefully than you did the last?
Woe to whom tries to take it from me, monsieur.
There you are, sir. And I hope...
Blind.
Same dude.
Sing too. It is...
He shall not.
He shall not escape me this time.
Who?
The thief! The traitor!
The boy's a madman. Or a true musketeer.
The man D'Artagnan cited from the apartment of Monsieur de Trevet was indeed the thief who had stolen his letter. As the captain of the Musketeers had guessed, he was also a hated spy of the cardinal's. In his wild rush to reach the culprit and avenge himself, D'Artagnan manages to cross words with and antagonize 3 of the most famous of the Musketeers, Aramis, Porthos, and Athos, the very same who had interrupted his audience with the captain before. Always ready to fight anyone on all occasions, D'Artagnan challenges each of them to a duel. Our scene opens in the setting of the Carmelite Monastery, the appointed place of rendezvous. As the monastery bells chime the noon hour, D'Artagnan hastens to fight the first of the duels.
You're late.
I lost my way, but I heard. What are your secrets still?
And they have not yet arrived. And yours?
I have none. I know no one in Paris but Monsieur de Trevet.
Then you have the honor of knowing the bravest man in all of France.
Well, Monsieur has a wound.
Very painful. I assure you. I'll use my right hand. You. You will find my right hand just as troubling to you.
Monsieur would allow me. I have the miraculous medicine that my mother gave me for wounds. In 3 days' time, you will be healed, and then you may kill me in the best of health. Allow me to do you this honor, monsieur.
Honorable courtesy. So it was in the Knights of Charlemagne. Fortunately, we do not live in such time. We live in the time of the Khan. No, my friend, I'm afraid I'll have to refuse your proposition. I perceive that if we do not kill each other, I would enjoy your company very much. We have a stout heart in our brave fellow. Begin. Formality of introducing my seconds. If you lived in Paris, monsieur, you would know that we 3 are always together. Yes. Aramis, Porthos, Athos. The 3 Musketeers. Known by others as the 3 Inseparables.
Ah, what is this? This is the man I'm going to fight.
But not before 1 o'clock.
I too am going to fight.
But not till 2 o'clock.
By Jove, boy. This is a clever fellow. Have you gone and challenged every musketeer in Paris?
Anyone that challenges the 3 of us within an hour is either a fool or a champion. Shall we begin? This is where we start.
Yeah, that's wait, hang on.
Y'all do like, whoa, Athos, it's like, you know, some kind of, hey, that's where you come in.
Yeah, I know you were yakking. Duel! Stand back.
Cardinal Scots. She swords, gentlemen. She swords.
Hola! Hola, musketeers.
fighting here, are you?
You're under arrest.
Arrest by whose authority?
You know whose orders. Cardinal.
Cardinal, for what?
For defying the edict against dueling. Follow me.
Aramis, did you hear the law against dueling?
But yes, the cardinal had it passed to protect his guardsmen. You see, they're handier with a broom than with a sword.
You resist arrest and defame the cardinal? We must fight.
Oh, gentlemen, monsieur, please. As you can see, this young boy is not a musketeer. Please afford us the opportunity to speak with him.
My guards await you at the gates, Monsieur Athos.
There are 4 of them and only 3 of us.
We have four, monsieur.
You are a boy and far too inexperienced.
Let him fight, Aramis. Now when we go before Captain de Trevay, instead of getting a third flank, I don't want to get a fourth.
Never thought of it like that.
You realize to fight them makes you at once an enemy of the cardinal.
Choice is made.
You're not one of us.
It's true. I not wear the uniform. But I'm one of you in spirit. My heart is that of a musketeer. I feel this, sir. Try me, gentlemen, and by my honor, I will not leave this place conquered. I will die before I leave this place conquered.
What is your name, brave fellow?
D'Artagnan, monsieur.
Well then, D'Artagnan. Aramis, Porthos, Athos. All for one,
And one for all!
Call yourself the captain. Let's see.
The defeat of the Cardinal's guards by Athos, Porthos, Aramis, and the young cadet D'Artagnan made great noise at court and soon reached the king himself. Though secretly proud of his musketeers, the king did not wish to offend his prime minister, the cardinal, whose goodwill he needed to preserve the balance of power in France. But, as Captain de Trevay knew, Louis XIII was not called Louis the Just without reason.
Well, monsieur, what must I believe? The coroner reports that your musketeers were dueling and resisted arrest. You say it was His Eminence's guards that started the quarrel.
As they always do, sire, and I rely on your majesty's judgment to judge 3 of your best soldiers, men who are reckless only in their devotion to you, sire.
How did the thing happen then? I hear both sides.
Well, Monsieur Athos, Porthos, and Aramis had made a rendezvous, a party pleasure with a young cadet from Gascony. They had met in the solitude of the monastic gardens for no doubt holy reflection, when they were suddenly and violently seized upon by the cardinal's guardsmen.
Ah, perhaps it was these guards that tended to fight amongst themselves.
I do not accuse them, sire, but why else would they gather in such a retired spot?
You're right, Trevay. You're right.
Well, then, upon seeing the musketeers, their own private disagreements were forgotten for their hatred of these brave men who belong to you, sir, heart and soul, and are therefore the natural enemies of the guardsmen who belong to the cardinal.
It is sad to have 2 heads of state. What must I do? His enemies must be appeased. He is the prop of the state.
But not infallible, sire. No one is above his majesty but God itself.
That is true. And tell me, was it the young boy that wounded Giuseppe? Oh, hey, say Jose.
You skipped his line.
Yeah, I skipped mine. I thought it was in here. Okay,
And it was these brave musketeers, one but a boy, sire, that routed 4 of the Cardinal's most treacherous guardsmen.
a victory indeed. And tell me, was it the boy who wounded Zeus and sent him home bleeding? Impossible.
Well, a young boy indeed, sire. Impossible, but true.
Boy, it must be the devil himself.
Oh, nay, an angel, a man after his own heart. Or as Athos would say, a knight when knights were splendid.
Well, a brave man indeed. Send them up. I'd like to reward them. Brave men are so hard to find, but take them up the back staircase. We wouldn't want the cardinal to know. And tell the lad this. Next time he fights Zeus, leave him a corpse by all means, but don't let him go with his pants dripping. My relation with the cardinal is tense. I don't want it impossible.
Yes, sire. Your nobleness proves himself once again Louis the Just and wise.